feel like it's been so long since you've seen our faces. It's been like a long time. Yeah. Because
we've been kind of putting off making another video. Just been kind of busy, so.
Life.
Here we are, finally making another video.
So I know we were like gonna bring you on our journey with this whole ClubFoot thing. So we're just gonna review everything that's happened in the last like 3 months.
Which has been a lot. A lot has happened since our last video.
So I think we started off, the last one was with casting. I think it was like her third cast.
Yeah.
So total she had 5, right?
Yes, 5 casts.
And then the surgery, the tenotomy, and then
the hard cast.
For 3 weeks. So let's go with the tenotomy, which is the clipping of the Achilles. So when you hear surgery on a 7-week-old, of course, as a parent, you're gonna freak out. I was in the waiting room crying, but it was super quick, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, they said she didn't even really cry, just when it first initially happened, and that was it.
So we gave the doctor a bottle because she wasn't put to sleep. They just put this numbing cream on it, and then it sat there for like 5 minutes, and we got to sit there with her while the numbing cream was on, and then they asked you to leave. So you go sit in the waiting room. We were sitting there like, what, not even like 10 minutes?
Yeah, something like that, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, she's done. She did good. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they said that she cried initially when they like made the incision, and that was it. She stopped.
Yeah, and they gave her a bottle, and she drank her bottle afterwards. So if you're a parent and you're about to go through the tenotomy, I think it's more emotionally draining on the parent versus the baby. Yeah, so I think that was it with the tenotomy. Oh, we did give Tylenol afterwards, but honestly...
Didn't we give her some before?
I think we did, like 30 minutes before?
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, she was the same afterward. Like, his sister came to visit, and she was still laughing and playing, and like, she just didn't have surgery. Like, it didn't even faze her. Which is good, because I was expecting her to be crying and emotional the entire time. But, no, she slept the same, which at that time was not that much. And it was okay. So we did the other cast for 3 weeks, the hard cast, and then we were done. We were done with casting. It was amazing. That was the best day.
The experience when we were first told about her ClubFoot and the casting, we felt like the casting was going to last forever. Like, it was just so intimidating to think. What I think was a total of 8 weeks.
Yeah, but originally they told us it'll be 10 weeks with our first doctor.
It's a long time, especially for a newborn, and it was a little overwhelming to think that far ahead, but it actually flew by, and Oakley tolerated the casting just fine. She didn't even notice it.
I think
she did really well.
The worst part is people asking, like, why is there a cast on their foot? What happened?
Yeah, that did get pretty old.
Yeah,
really. Said something happened to her. She broke her leg or something. And, but I'm just kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but we had gone to the zoo when she was just in her brace after casting, and we ran into somebody else that actually has experienced ClubFoot, their daughter. But they said that she also had ClubFoot.
But you don't meet very many people with
That's
kids
the first
who have
time we've seen anybody. I mean, we don't even see any babies or anything in these braces or casting or anything. So it's kind of interesting to run into somebody that's experienced it as well.
Also, there's not that many people on YouTube that talk about the ClubFoot like experience. Like, they make it seem like it's a very common thing that happens, but then when you try to find someone, it's actually really hard to find someone that actually knows what you're going through. There is Facebook groups, but I'm a part of 2 of them, and I feel more attacked than anything when I like post pictures like, oh, how's her foot look? And everyone's like, get a second opinion, go to Dr. Dobbs. And I'm like, okay, that's in Florida. I'm not gonna make it there. After the 3-week hard cast, we were supposed to move into Boots and Bars. I guess we should stop. So before you do that, her foot after the casting, her heel was still pretty high. Like, I'll insert a picture. So it didn't look normal, so I was really concerned I was gonna get a second opinion and I was gonna go to Dr. Dobbs, but COVID, so even if we wanted to go, we couldn't. So we actually are doing physical therapy as long with the bracing. So initially we were given these.
So these are your traditional Ponseti boots and bars. So they come off of the bar. Both boots do that. And then, as you could probably see here, they're at different angles, right? So she is a right-sided clubfoot. So the right side is overcorrected, and this left side we can adjust however we see fit, just with these screws here. They tell you what they want the actual position for the clubfoot at. But we didn't really like this idea.
I didn't like it from the beginning.
Seems pretty barbaric, very old school.
It hasn't changed since the 1950s, since Ponseti made the bar. Like, this is, in my opinion, if you have the boots and bars and it works for your baby, perfect. Like, we figured since it was only one foot, I didn't want to subject the other foot to being overcorrected or stuck in that place as well. And I've heard that it can cause, like, bow-leggedness, it can cause hip dysplasia, it can just, overall, it seemed like it had more problems than fixing her clubfoot. So,
and that's something that, you know, especially her, she did a lot of research into treatment for clubfoot and the different types of braces. I think it's Dr. Dobbs, right, the one in Florida?
Yeah, he has.
So he has something similar to this brace, and it allows a little more mobility for the infant. Obviously, we started pretty early with treatment, so it's not like she's walking or crawling or anything like that, but she's still going to do tummy time and kick around. But with this, it's a little heavier and just kind of awkward and kind of, you know, cumbersome when they're trying to move around and wiggle and stuff. So we decided to try to find something a little bit better, and the Dobbs one is pretty cool because right here on both sides, it allows the baby to kind of pivot their feet, so they actually can go up and down.
It's just heavier. So doctors don't recommend it for smaller babies because it is heavier on them. Yeah. So us as a family, we decided that was best for her, and everyone else was the ADM. And I have no problem. I love the ADM brace. It took us a long time. We still haven't really found anyone.
No one approves it.
Yeah.
So it's still very new, and there's a lot of providers out there. I mean, even our surgeon, he kind of was a little skeptical about it. But we told him, like, let's just give it a shot. If it doesn't work and she starts to relapse or show signs of relapse, then we'll move back to the boots and bars. But as you can see, this is the ADM, and it has worked perfectly for her. So just like the boots and bars, the bottom part of it comes off. So as you can see, so this goes on her, goes around kind of about where her calf is. And then you can see there's little measuring on both ends where the springs are, so you can kind of keep track of where you are with correction. And then you've got just your standard boot. This is the same type of boot that they use for the boots and bars. And then you just put this on, and then slide this on, and Velcro around their leg, and you'll see that it corrects. This is her old one she's currently wearing. During nap time now, she's wearing.
Yeah, she's naps and nights. And she's here, guys. She's sleeping. So, yeah. And she's wearing the one she has now. So this was a size 0. We haven't found anyone that will go through our insurance to approve it, so we've been paying out of pocket for it. And we're on our 3rd one, and each one is around $300. We just, as parents, think it's better for her, and it has worked for her, and we're willing to pay that money just so she can have, like, oh, she woke up.
So she's a little more comfortable than she would be in the boots and bars,
So she is in nights and naps now, and then 3 months, so in January we get reevaluated to see if she can just go to all naps, or nights, yeah. And she's still in PT. Oh wait, hold that thought, let me go get her. Where were we?
Alright, she woke up from her nap, so we gotta go get her.
She probably looks so much different than her
baby
girl.
Before. she's grown a lot. Her last appointment, she was 15 pounds, 5 ounces, I think.
At 4 months old.
At 4 months, so she's got her next appointment in here in a couple weeks for 6 months. But where were we? So we were talking about PT, physical therapy. So we started shortly after her surgery, or after she got out of her casting, there you go. We're both in the medical field and both advocate for physical therapy. I think that it's wonderful and great for rehab.
So I guess since she's up, we can show you her foot.
Before you take it off, you want to show them what it looks like when it's on?
Oh, okay. This is the ADM on. So really simple. It keeps it. Okay. So this is it on. Ow, that's my face. It just keeps it turned. I think right now it's at a 30-degree angle. It should be. It's between 15 and 30. Thank you for the kisses.
So it turns her foot outward, and then it also lifts it up. And there's a little window. Let's see if we can get it on camera right there. Her heel should be in that window, at least 50% of her heel. And when we initially started these ADM braces, that was one of our biggest concerns, is it was really hard to get her heel to stay down. When you initially put it on and you've got that pressure up against the heel of that boot, and you're holding her leg in, it's all the way in the window, but as soon as you've tied everything down and everything, her heel kind of comes up. And but over time, I think, what was it, like 4 weeks or so into it, her heel started to drop down. And that's what Dr. Gibbons had said anyways, is it takes some time for their heel to drop. So for those of you that do try ADM or even using the boots and bars, you'll experience the same thing. It just takes some time for their heel to drop.
Okay, I guess let's wrap this up and show you what her foot does. So her foot is smaller.
Not much, though. Barely noticeable. Really, it's more noticeable right where her toes are, because her toes are all kind of crunched up.
Yeah, so this is the angle of the foot. I just took the brace off. And then this is her good foot. So yeah, those are the two.
Yeah, so you can't really tell the difference.
Her flexibility
the heel,
is
you
good.
can see it. Yeah, flexibility has been really good.
If
she moves completely. She'll pull it this way on her own. Little trick PT shows is like run your finger across the side of her leg and up, and she'll lift her leg or foot up. So, baby girl.
So yeah, this is our little Oakley, and I think that's our next thing isn't until we go to night's time, where if all goes well, which hopefully it has been going good, so we should be okay.
She has been a very happy baby, and this hasn't even phased her. I'm glad that we started this early, because now that she's, trying to crawl and roll and things like that, she doesn't even notice it. She doesn't even have to be in her ADM brace. So,
You see the camera? Can you say thanks for watching? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys, that's all we got. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, just comment down below, and I'll get sure to answer them. Say bye-bye. Okay.